back in, and it's looking pretty darn good. All right, boys and girls. Well, with that said, let's hop into this draft to see what these teams are cooking up. EG versus Vici. This is game number 1. These are the winners from the first rounds. So I don't have the bracket in front of me, but winner of this is guaranteed upper bracket, correct?
Cracking a cold monster there.
Yeah.
Winner of this is
guaranteed upper bracket?
I believe so.
I believe so. So good bit on the line here. Again, a reminder that lower bracket round 1 is best of 1 elimination. So it's a big deal to start in that upper bracket.
Yeah, you do not want to go down to that lower bracket. That place is terrible.
Absolutely want to be top 2 in your group.
There, you know.
Get me out.
Hard to believe. But yeah.
Yeah, so the winner of this goes on, and then it's the decider.
And then you have the loser and then the decider. So yeah.
Great.
Man, that's so fast. 2 best of 3s, and you're just right in that upper bracket.
Dude, that's how it goes. GSL groups, baby. No tiebreakers, no mucking around, all best of 3s. It is the format.
I like it.
I'm a big fan. I think been a lot of improvements to tournament formats over the years. I think we finally got it figured out to a certain degree of perfection.
Just wait till we have the best of 5 group stage. I mean, that's when true Dota will finally take place. Yeah. Grand final, best of 7, you know.
Oh, yeah. Scheduling those best of 7 days. Hey, I'm going to need this venue for 3 to 8 hours, roughly, depending on what happens. That's always easy to schedule.
We'll just buy the venue.
Vici Gaming.
Wow, now you're speaking. Yeah, we'll use all those Moonduck dollars. Just buy the venue. All right, so what do we got here? A lot of familiar faces in these opening bands. Necro Weaver Phoenix taken out by EG, and Wisp Enigma Axe. Drow made it through.
Left in for EG.
Tiny also made it through, as well as the Terrorblade. All of them have been pretty high priority in terms of draft. EG with first pick, they will grab the Tiny.
And that just leaves it open for them. Now the question is, will they take the Drow? They're instantly into the opener. Overmorph. Ooh, that, I don't know if you want to pick Drow. It can go either way. You could say, okay, we can play this game fast enough, and we think we can draw this out. Or you could say, that sounds a little bit risky. Go for like a BL, I guess, is probably the best option here. You don't want to pick TB into the Morphling because he just morphs into you with meta and he's just better Terrorblade.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty. I guess before that, TB used to be kind of considered good against Morphling because of the reflection, right? That was
yeah, but now you can
but now that now it's a whole different set of parameters.
Being able to dispel it is just brutal, especially because Morph has 2, because whenever you morph someone, it's a basic dispel, and you always buy Manta anyway, so it takes off the reflection.
I feel like I still have trouble assessing what's going to be a good Drow game. She's such an odd hero to me. It's all or nothing.
She's a vacuum hero, is what she is.
What do you mean by that? As they do pick Terrorblade into the Morphling, by the way.
Like you ignore the enemy team for the most part. Like if you're gonna first pick Drow, like a lot of your draft is much more focused about yourself than your opponents. I feel. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
There's a reason why I feel like when Drow gets first picked, you see the same bands every time. It doesn't matter what the enemy team's picking. They're just focused on like, okay, this is good with Drow. That is good with Drow. And they just, you know what they're trying to do.
5 seconds remaining.
So yeah, they will still take the risk. They say, yeah, TB's that good. So we're fine with that.
Curious why. I mean, we were talking about the tempo with this matchup a little bit, sort of analyzing what if that Morphling was a TB in the game 3 of EG Aster. It'll be interesting to see it at work here, and if EG can get an early advantage with those metamorphoses.
Metamorphosi.
Metamorphosi? Is that the plural? What is the plural of metamorphosis?
I believe it's metamorphosis.
Multiple metamorphoses.
Like geese.
Geese.
Yeah, that must be it. That totally makes sense.
Like octopi?
Yeah. Or moose and meese. It's all the same.
10 seconds remaining.
Well,
and the
Bloodseeker, he's going to be taken out. As well as Bane. Metamorphosi, is that the plural?
Left here. I guess, well, EG, earlier on, they opened the same thing, right? Game 1, they went back for the Dazzle, and then they had that Ursa and the Lena. That game fell apart pretty bad. They couldn't quite get the objective focus going, even though they had it.
They've switched it up quite a bit. It seems like their top 3 position 5s are Bane, Winter Wyvern, and Dazzle. Last series, so definitely targeting some bans around Fly. Brewmaster going to be taken out by EG. Interesting ban, but kind of a chaotic space maker that can be very irritating in the mid game.
It was the hero at Hamburg too, so every single team was seeing play with it. It was being picked banned in virtually every single game, and it was banned out a lot. That's a right able to play it there for you. So
Yeah, interesting. We saw it totally ignored in the last series.
yeah, it is. It is a little bit interesting. But I like the fact that EG are on top of it. They're just thinking about what Vici have been up to. So the other big one that's still left in is the Magnus. And they are very comfortable doing this like Empower Terrorblade strat from Vici Gaming. Pretty much every team was running it around that Hamburg time. So they could do the same thing with a Morphling, perhaps. Plus it'd be Bloodlust. So this carry will be very jacked up. And then they will end up banning the Silencer. So you're right. They do still put a lot of emphasis on.
Yeah. I don't know if EG has been playing Silencer nearly as much, but Vici just seemed to value it as both a ban and a pick.
They played it near the end of their run at Hamburg, and it could just be like if they see the right game for it. I mean, even against a Morph, it can be pretty brutal, right? If you, in the earliest parts of the game,
Sure, yeah.
10
catching him
seconds
before
remaining.
Morphers.
Absolutely.
5
All right,
seconds
Vici
remaining.
now need to make a decision for their third. Yeah. Still a pretty wide open selection here.
It's a bit of a tough call here, I feel like. Like, do you just go for one of these Yang heroes? Like, his hero pool's not that huge, so maybe they just pick one now and they leave a little bit of flexibility there, Fade instead.
I think it's certainly tempting.
Evil geniuses turn to
And it'll be the Earthshaker.
So this was one of his better heroes for sure. When I think of Fade, he didn't. I seem to recall thinking he didn't get to play it much at Hamburg, and in fact, I'm looking, and yeah, he did not get to play it all too much. But I was looking back at like some of their past games leading up to that event, and he was looking. So
Okay.
just a good playmaker. Again, it was someone that showed up a lot at Hamburg.
10
Pretty much
seconds
what most of this group
remaining.
stage.
I think it's certainly tempting.
The last big tournament. Problems with
seconds
Earthshaker is he
remaining.
needs certain laning partners. I'm guessing they want the Pugna. I feel like that's probably one of the better ones left. You need someone that can like kind of play aggressively with the Earthshaker, or you need a way to pull the wave back.
Well, if they want the Pugna, they are pretty much going to have to pick it fourth, I think. We've seen him final banned 2 of our 3 games so far. Yeah.
No, they definitely will. Now, one thing is that, unless I'm mistaken, I don't want Flame Fade. No, I can Flame Fade. He
VG
had
Gaming's
one
turn.
of the worst Pugna games I've ever seen in my entire life versus Virtus Pro. It was a disaster. They were laying versus this Dazzle Terrorblade, and my god, he got so worked on that Pugna. Like, poor Yang was just completely taken out of the game. It was bad. He was like level 2 at like 6 or 7 minutes.
It's not a fun matchup. You got some slows, got
10
some...
seconds
Yeah, but
remaining.
it
Physical
was.
damage.
Yeah, I mean, he hit a Wyvern. It should not have been that bad. Like,
Yeah, that's
he
fair.
clearly was
5
missing something
seconds
on the old
remaining.
the Pugna. So I don't know. Maybe he might still be traumatized from that. He just got off to a bad start, but we'll see. It's been very common with the Earthshaker. That is why I bring it up. I'm not really sure what else they would honestly go for. Like, Axe is gone and gone. Trying to think of like these other strong laners that can kind of make this Shaker work, and there's really not a whole lot. Centaur's not that great. Don't think you want to try your Magnus. That sounds very bad. You need that like range support to play with the Magnus to make it relevant.
I like the Lion here for EG, though. It's a different kind of pace for that position 5.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
a bit odd.
More aggressive, though. I feel like they've been valuing that, like, Shallow Grave, the Winter Wyvern. Now Lion gives them some burst potential. It's pretty nice against the Morphling, right? You got some control and a way to actually try to lock him down, but now the Centaur.
That's probably the best hero aside from... This is like... Pugna is like kind of good in the lane, but in terms of the whole game, Pugna and Morphling feels a little kind of close. Like these magic-y heroes and no real control elements to help initiate fights and help build an engagement for the Earth capitalize. So
10
I like the
seconds
Centaur better in
remaining.
that. They need to be really good with their fishers to try and set up good hoof
5
stomps and
seconds
double edge
remaining.
here for Vici. Last 10th pick is already well built up here. It's going to have the power of Bloodlust. It has the power of Stampede.
Yeah.
So you know this hero is already going to be well enabled as well as Morphling. So the start looks good. The hardest part for them right now, I think, is getting this Earthshaker to a point where he feels like he can contribute to the game, getting in towards the Blink Dagger. So it might mean that they need a mid hero that's like a...
The Lena, the surprising final pick.
I don't know. Someone who can be active, I guess. Get around the map. Like someone who wants to be off map so that Shaker can have the
Dead hero I want to suggest. How about the Queen of Pain?
Vici Gaming's turn
That's
to
a pretty
bat.
dead hero.
We saw her a couple times. Actually, it was Vici that played it. Ori did, I believe. It was horrific.
Well,
They played a Puck. I'm pretty sure it was them. They played a Puck Queen of Pain draft.
Eek.
And lost.
2 dead heroes.
Yeah, it was them. It was versus.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
But Invoker for EG though, new face for us.
10
Exciting.
seconds remaining.
Invoker Terrorblade. We saw this combo quite a bit too. It seems a little counterintuitive because you're like, oh, aren't these both very greedy? But for the most part, we wound up with Quaswex Invoker. So he just played around the map a lot and made space with Terrorblade.
How does Quaswex build these days, item-wise?
You can just go for the Spirit Vessel. That's definitely the most common thing. Usually it's like Spirit Vessel and
Trent predicting a Spirit Vessel pickup. Wow.
Dude, it's good.
Turn
Good
to
item.
ban.
Quality.
Magnus now, final ban from Vici.
That would have been something to see the Mag TV, the legend himself, S4. Won't be allowed though. They could go for like I've seen some teams run the Exort with the TV, and they already have this was actually, remember when Newbie went on that like 22 game win streak like 4 years ago or 3 years ago or
I
something?
have a vague recollection.
They picked Invoker, Doom, and Lion like every game.
5 seconds
And
remaining.
this Lion would run around and like set up Sunstrikes, and it was so funny to me. Or like the Lion would run around with the Doom
Why's that
just
funny?
over and over. I don't know, because Lion. When do you ever see Lion setting up Sunstrikes? Like, have you ever watched a game where that's really a thing?
I mean, I guess
good.
not, but like he's got stuns and
Yeah, but
hexes
they
and
did
shit.
like
I mean,
20 games. It was great that no one else is doing it. It's like, just pick Doom every game. That was the key.
God, I don't miss
I
those.
highly doubt we're going to see a Doom. Talking about dead heroes. My
Yeah,
goodness.
he's serious. I'm not upset about that. Though.
Close you're going to get the Doom is Diablo on the Switch, I think. Everyone here is fiending.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh man, EG with about 10 seconds left on this final
5
pick.
seconds remaining.
What'll it be
Vici
here,
Gaming.
boys? For an offlaner, it's the Undying.
I'm dying.
Early, aggressive, high-tempo hero.
S4 on the, I like that though. S4 on the tiny, and then that means probably gonna be greedier, I would think, with a crit lion,
Yeah,
and then the fly line.
I would guess so. Interesting last choice. Definitely gives them a lot of early skirmish potential. Team fight
10
from EG
seconds
is
remaining.
nasty.
And you think about Undying and Tiny actually, like
5
if you get a couple
seconds
decays on a Morphling, whew,
That's a good point, actually. The burst damage is real.
that toss could be very scary just in the lane, like pressuring him back, even just the harassment from the tiny, and then that means
A lot of burst on the EG side just in general. Sunstrikes, Finger, Sunder is sort of burst.
They have okay Tomb Hero in the Morphling, but they could use one more, as well as a mid matchup versus the Invoker, so he looks okay. If we just want to go back for, I think we might get another lean again.
Moment of truth.
Wow.
There it is.
Guys, I hope you're having a fun time today.
Bold
I
call
hope
there,
you're liking
Trent.
these Lena games.
I don't mind watching Lena.
Yeah,
I
she's
think
okay.
Of all the mid laners, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sumail, though, with the badass Invoker set. Kel'Thas himself. All right, so what are we thinking here, Trent? How you like these lineups? I have to say, I'm a fan of this EG squad right now.
Looking at both of the recent, the past 8 games for Vici, there have been 4 Lenas across both teams, 3 of them for themselves, and then for EG, they've picked 4 Lenas in their past phase 1. So she's all over the place. Now, mind you, those were CC and C Lenas, so they clearly don't count.
10
All set here.
seconds
No
remaining.
surprises. It looks like as the end of the picks come out there. Fate will be on the Shaker. Look at that beautiful golden gravel maw. This is a guy who is ready to play some Earthshake. That's what I see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's decked out.
Meanwhile, Fly is ready to go.
I think
Dig it.
cosmetics have just hit a whole... Look at the Centaur
Look
right
at the
now.
lion. Just ignore everything else in this screen and please just witness. Like, I wish that I just couldn't see anything else on this screen but a giant blow.
If you
What
saw
happened
that, if that
to
was
this
a
guy?
real being, where you would just be like, what is this? Are you like a reincarnation of King Tut here? What are we doing?
He looks like he's in a parade. Like he's part
He
of-
looks like a mummer.
he's in some sort of a festival. I don't know. He doesn't really have good
I
fashion
think
sense.
Centaur has taken a trip to hell and back and brought back the axe that was used to end the world. I mean, look at him. It's absolutely absurd. And then you got Ogre over there. He's just got a belt. That's it. He's
The fashion budget was clearly used on the other 4 heroes.
yeah.
Position 5 goes
Which
very
Invoker
far.
set is that, by the way, that Sumail's using?
Isn't it called like Dark Artistry or something?
Oh, it's that one? Yeah. I thought it had like a Harry Potter hat with that set, but I might be just... So what do you think here, Trent? Which draft do you like better, though? Are you with me on the EG, or are you going to favor Vici on this one?
No, I like the Vici. I don't really like TB Invoker.
After all that, I thought, weren't you just reminiscing about the good
No,
old
I'm just
days?
saying how I just saw them. No, hey, I was reminiscing about Invoker
Prepare
in
for
line.
battle.
Oh,
Not
I see.
TV. Thank you very much.
I see.
And he's gone Exort too. I mean, he might just be Exort for the lane for the first, like, sometimes they just take 1 point and then go back.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah, well, a little hard to tell.
I think with how there's kind of a lack of aggression from the side of Vici, so I could see you getting away with the Quas Exort, and that will be pretty nice. I would like that if he goes for the Exort. But that's going to come down to just kind of reading the... Fly walks in and pops the smoke of DY in the mid lane as he's planning that ward. So Sumail going to be very happy to know where that ward is.
Very nice. Up top, crit and S4. Baiting deep, might bump into the Ogre actually.
30 seconds. to
Vision on the high ground here. All right, get a couple of love taps in. Nothing the Ogre can't handle. But bounty runes, I think it'll just be 2 apiece, most likely. Okay.
Oh, Ogre.
Sweet,
What a hero.
sweet Ogre.
Tank's like half his HP, already back up to almost full.
So what's his base regen? Like 5, something like that? 5.4?
The battle
Oh, I actually
You got a
begins.
tango on.
Anyway, 2 for 2 once again.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of shows why everyone just hides, though, right? DY just wasted like. Also, he's Bloodlust level 1. Wait, what?
Whoa.
He had to use that for his little run into some supports.
Pretty peculiar though. You don't see that too often these days.
Not a fan. I've seen it a couple times lately, but never seems very good. But whatever. No, get the ignite or Fire Blast level 2. Life's good.
So laning phase will get started here down bottom. Fly and Arteezy. They will be up against Yang and Fade. 4 melee lane here.
Fade looks like he did a Fisher block somewhere and pop the clarity, so.
I think this is one of those lanes where the Undying is pretty happy to be Undying right now. Easy decay stacks.
Yeah, he's taking enough now to pop the meta, but you really want to kill when you do this.
Feels like they almost could have committed a little more to try to find that kill, but don't want to miss those valuable CS as we've talked about.
Yeah.
Still good that they forced Yang and using that healing salve already. Pretty aggressive start here.
Fly just keeps holding up those double decays. Paying off too. Jeez, 20 already. No one can trade with him at the moment.
Too much the dream for a start.
Top lane Paparazzi is taking a lot of harass up here. Just getting his first last hit.
And this is definitely one of the differences, the Morphling and the TBs we talked about. Terrorblade has that ability to come out of the gate swinging. Morphling, not quite the same. Level 1, he's basically just trying to be left alone.
Lane. They put a sentry down here, yeah. And Faye just coming in with his Fisher.
Blocks it out. Is this going to be the first blood? Indeed it is. Ori finds the kill with an LSA, followed up by an auto attack, and Sumail takes a tumble.
Trying to push to the limit there. Ends up slowing down. So it'll be a second no push up for Lane.
Great rotation from the Earthshaker, though. Realizing that bottom lane is going to be difficult. Just give the Centaur the solo XP and try to make a play happen elsewhere.
It's so important when you pick this hero to have ways to like enable his laning stage phase where he can walk and poke and create
Top.
kills.
Paparazzi in trouble and dead. S4 able to finish him off.
That feels like it's going to be a pretty common scenario up here. He's only gotten 1 more last hit since we left. He is 2-1 right now. And that's without the Undying in his lane. Like, Lion's not even the best hero in this capacity. Crit's going back to cut the way. Oh no, he's just going to go.
Oh, the free
Bye,
TP
Crit.
back to the base here. Okay.
Didn't taunt. Not sure about that. Clearly not a Lion player. Just want to say. I mean, that guy's taunt is like right after Undying. We'll see. Maybe he'll get some later.
Okay, back to farming we go. Earthshaker has come back to the bottom lane, soon to be level 2. And how is our mid matchup? Even though Sumail did take a tumble, CS score still very even. Lena with a few more denies, but
Yeah, Sumail comes to it pretty strong.
he has 2 points in Quas. So it looks like it's going to be an Exort Invoker. Gets that 2nd point now. No Wex.
Puts a little bit of pressure on the other side to like go around the map and get some straight kills, but it's gonna be done. As they hop on RTG, that solo healed quite a bit. And
A lot
they
of
still
units.
don't pop the meta. I feel like they were trying to force it there from Vici. Not biting.
Oh, top, DY, able to make it back, but a lot of pressure coming out of these two still.
Still have a Sal for S4 here too. And only one tango left for this Morphling. They're probably gonna need a courier up here soon.
Top lane's pretty brutal. Fly down bottom, running low on mana, but another soul rip to keep our TZ topped off.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Showing off the versatility of the Undying in this kind of scenario.
Fade is just body blocking the small camp too. So Fly hit just de-warded it, but then Fade runs over and blocks it in mid-America. Sunstrike up top with the Hex. It's enough for the slow.
Does connect, but will the Morphling go down? The tree will chase him into the tree line. S4 grabs yet another disastrous top lane for Vici.
9-3. Slaying it on those Morphling last hits. Ori is going to sub the DD. Fade above the pair. Doesn't. No vision here. I think they know Fade was rotating this way though, so.
Centaur's been handling this lane setup pretty well though. He's had the Earthshaker kind of rotating in and out, but 16 last hits, level 4.
Yeah, that was pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Especially like during a meta, so they'll play up a little bit close. Now meta ends, so it'll be a little bit better.
5 minutes on the horizon here. Fly gonna head to the enemy bounty rune. Fade actually gonna chase him
Fly,
over.
Fly can guarantee one of these. So
The jukes, very nice. The zombie and
ankle
top.
completely snapped and broken. My goodness, what a player!
EG will go 3 for 1 on the first bounties. They get both up top.
And they'll force him to jungle because he doesn't know where this Earth. So he can't play anywhere near that Lina. Capitalize on a single Fisher.
On up top, still a lot of pressure on this Morphling. 4 knowing his limits.
Rare to see a Morphling having to sit so high in HP. Partially why he was hurting so hard on last hits early. Especially against Tiny, one of the best deniers.
Quiet laning stage here. Trent, Sumail getting a little farm in the jungle as he gets close to level 6. Lina already found her 6 mid though up top. Sunstrike on the way in, and S4 gets a kill on the Paparazzi. Fling dies again.
All you need. I mean, that's Invoker Gaming. Bottom lane, they're going to find that rune too. Steal it away from Lina. And that's going to help out Sumail a little bit here. Pressure. DD's still in the pocket though, so that's still going to keep driving back.
Oh, he actually lives. Has the stick charges there at the last second. More auto attack would have found that kill. Feels like this Ogre has just not had much of a presence in this top lane.
Hey, he's not feeding. I mean,
he's not feeding, but not able to keep his Morphling alive either or really do much, so.
he's calling back. Okay, 0-3.
Yeah.
That's a couple kills.
It's not great, dude. 0-3 in 6 minutes is far from ideal.
Bottom lane Yang getting a little bit low here into the trees. Fade, maybe thinking about creating a turnaround, but there's meta, so this is just a defensive Fisher.
And now Tombstone comes down to break the tree, try to give him some vision.
Yang is really trying to bait this out here, because, I mean, they have no stun to cancel a TP. He could just leave. The bait will not work. They even brought down Ori.
With a double damage rune, looks like we'll be able to finish off the Tombstone, get some bonus gold for his trouble.
That actually makes the TP worth it.
Oh, level 6 stun? Not going to be able to do it. Okay.
He didn't take it either.
No, he didn't
He
have
had the point.
He had the point, was saving it, but couldn't quite do it in time. Okay, well now that rotation's absolutely worth it for the Lina. I mean, that's the dream right there. Get the kill on the tier, position 1.
Yeah, I thought the Tombstone was good enough, honestly. Tries to get some Sunstrikes on Yang Ori, but they will survive. And up top, Fade does not have the mana. He's got a Mango, so he can pop it if he sees the potential, but I feel like he can get there. There is a ward, so S4 wanders back towards that vision to go for something. Crit.
Dire's middle
There's no
tower
waveform here,
is
though.
under attack.
Let's get low. And it looks like they want to maybe smoke or...
Now Fly's going to make the TP up top. Going to go for perhaps a kill on Paparazzi.
I don't
Got
think
it
they
pretty
made
low.
VG here.
There's the Hex. Still a lot of damage onto S4. Fade in the front lines. He gets tossed up. Stun on the Ogre. DY will die to the Sunstrike, but they lose S4. It's a 1-for-1.
Radiant's middle tower
Fade
is
getting a
under
little
attack.
bonus gold, friending that streak there.
I didn't think they'd have enough to tank. Honestly, we finished the kills. That early right-click damage, though, was enough. 2 adaptive strikes.
Very nice for the Invoker, though. So important for Exort Invokers to get some pickoffs with Sunstrike in this laning phase. Kind of the difference between having low impact and having that momentum when you have a strong mid game.
Especially these days where like a lot of them don't even go Midas really. So
yeah,
if you get off to a really great start, it might still be worth it in some situations. So currently he's just queuing it.
Full level behind the Lena right now. She's level 9.
Not surprised.
Just recently hit 8.
Early Fisher's so good.
Stun onto the Lena here from Crit, though he does get blocked.
Nowhere to run, dude.
And that'll be a Laguna into Hex. Crit, but he sidesteps the LSA. He should not survive through this. Okay, or he does finish him off, but Fly makes him work.
That would have been incredible.
UI now rotating over with some raindrops on S4. The infused raindrops, that is. Fissure, though, sets up the LSA. Nice avalanche. Will keep himself alive. Strike. Off the mark.
Get up there. 287 on the Sunstrike damage, so
would not have been enough for a kill on the Lena there if it did connect it.
Well, we'll keep doing the math. Keep you guys up to date. Don't worry.
Yeah, pure damage math is hard, man.
It's real difficult.
Centaur is getting a lot of space down bottom, though. It's just him and the Terrorblade, and obviously Arteezy is farming just fine. But the opportunity cost is that Centaur is getting a fair bit of farm himself. 36 last hits, and now level 6, so he's got the Stampede.
His game's really good, too, because it's a really good Crimson game. Terrorblade,
yes.
Just always makes his hero feel way stronger.
Absolutely. I feel like Crimson Guard is
nice play by Fade bottom. Helps secure the bounty rune. So they get both in the bottom.
Money to burn.
Still one chilling up top, and EG should be able to secure it. We'll go to
Crit's heading back for it. Feels like Crimson Guard has been in a good place for a while, though.
Yeah.
Certain games, it is just a complete game changer of an item. Very satisfying if you're one of those beefy offlaners in the right context.
It's hard to build on a lot of heroes. That kind of keeps it balanced.
I think so, yeah.
Only problem with it, I would say, is that it feels kind of like a necessity on some heroes. Sunstrike gets used up top. They get paparazzi.
Another big kill.
Ah, gotta love those deep wards when they're
mid lane, though.
Farm.
They're going to set up onto Sumail, but they can't commit for it. Lena might still even die for this. Terrorblade trying to follow through, but the ultimate from the Centaur does give them enough space to get back to friendly territory.
Procs or anything. And very nice kill, though, with that Sunstrike. That's kind of getting to be a little bit of a classic with this Invoker versus Morphling. Oh, he's got the Sentry. He's coming to de-ward that thing. He pinged exactly where it is, too. It's exceptions about which part it's on. Maybe he'll get it wrong and guess more to the
Radiant's bottom tower
He's
is under
unlikely.
attack.
Crit in a pretty aggressive position here. He does get pinned out. Drops the stun on the Morphling. Sunstrike again, and they make it work. Oh, my.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That had to feel good. That was
holding the
Dire's top tower is falling. Radiant's bottom tower is under
they're going to find DY. Yeah, but wow. I mean, this Morphling is just getting ripped apart now. 2,600 net worth at 11.5 minutes.
Radiant's
He
bottom
TP'd that
tower
shrine,
is
too.
under attack.
And he doesn't even have boots right now, dude. He's got Morbid Mask, Magic Wand, Ring of Aquila. That's it.
Oh my god, what a line
He just
play.
took the tome. That's how poverty mode this Morphling is. He actually just took the tome.
Dire's top
Wow,
tower
that's
is
a
under
sad
attack.
life, man.
Sort of unbelievable in a weird way.
At least Fade hasn't died yet. He's a lot of gold in the shaker. He might be the turnaround hero here.
Although Fade's thinking, man, I would have got my 6, dude.
Nah, who needs level? Well, actually, levels are pretty nice. But, you know,
Who needs levels?
Morphling really needs them. Helps them farm a lot faster. You don't really farm any faster with shaker with levels.
That's fair. That's
Dire's top tower
definitely a
is
very
under
telling
attack.
sign of the current state of this game. 7-5 EG with a 4K net worth advantage. Terrorblade starting to move around the map a little bit. Have his Dragonlance queued up and picked up before too long. Tiny is only 200 gold away from the Blink Dagger, as we've seen an absolute game changer from that guy. Rockman.
So that's what we're killing, man, is it?
Invisibility.
Killing S4. Invis room, pop. On the way. Yule Scepter ready. This man has no right to live. 5 seconds of the TP. Seems to sense something.
He bought the Blink, though, so even if he dies, I think S4 will be okay with this. They've already sort of thought maybe he'd be backing up. Very aggressive posture, but they don't find him. Still got half duration on the Invis room, but S4 TPs to the mid.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Sound.
attack.
And RTZ's up on the high ground, so they have fully secured this mid tier 1. It feels like EG every single game when people are targeting their tier 1 safe lane, they're able to get the mid and trade.
Yeah,
that's a big advantage.
Absolutely. Centaur stunned up. There's a follow-up B there. Pops the Stampede.
Ori, very quick. That's S4 blinking in, and he has the Yules pre-targeted to save his life.
Yeah. Very nice. But like you said, still a trade that favors EG, and they force out the Stampede. Really cost them much else, I guess, besides the meta, but still a long duration. They're going to rotate up top. And this is exactly what I was kind of picturing with Terrorblade versus Morphling. Obviously, this is an extreme kind of situation with the Morphling getting killed so many times in the lane, but we're only 13 minutes in. Terrorblade's their position 1. He's moving around the map. They're taking objectives. They're breaking this game open. Even if Morphling had a good laning phase, he still wouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah, he can't do this the same way TB.
So you might be right that late game, 45 minutes, you don't really want to be Terrorblade against Morphling, but at this stage, you've got a nasty window where Morph is just a puddle.
At this point, it wouldn't matter what the enemy carry is either, right? It's like no one really does this like Terrorblade. That's why this hero is so popular right now, is that if you're executing well and you're winning your lanes, he can just crack open the entire game by taking away all the space enemies can farm, because he can just melt towers way faster than others are ready for. So.
I guess he is sort of unique in that regard. There's no other position 1 that's quite as strong at just whopping down towers like that.
Even like Troll, you would think would be like kind of good. He doesn't really do that.
He needs space early on
or something like that. So.
The only other analogy I could think of, which is sort of a weird one, is like Huskar can kind of be like that, just not because he pushes, but he just dominates so hard early on.
It's like Huskar, TA, Meepo. TB is very similar for the same regard. It's just they're kind of like win more heroes in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
like,
and TB feels less risky than all those other heroes, because if you don't do this early momentum, then he's cool. He's farming, he's going towards the late game.
No one's first picking Meepo, Huskar, or TA, so it kind of tells you that this TB hero might be kind of good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Poor Husky. Okay, so still some duration on the Metamorphosis. About a third left. He's in pressure that tower. Centaur is going to be caught by some stuns, and they will finish him off. Sunstrike from Sumail on the mark once again. Hey, it's all EG all day, baby. Glyph comes out, but Arteezy will secure this tower kill. No defense to be mounted by Vici, though they are kind of gathered up here. Don't think they'll be able to find too much. Crit, he'll TP hole. Arteezy. He sticks around a bit too long, and just as I say they won't be able to find much, they get a high-priced kill on the position 1.
Maybe he's feeling kind of safe with all the vision that's placed down in this area.
I feel like if Crit hadn't been TPing out, that would have felt a little bit less risky. It could have been a great bait. He's ready to stun, but knowing your supports are leaving you high and dry.
Crit's like, nah.
Stuck around a little too long. Small misstep, though. Still a lot of objectives going the way of EG.
That's an interesting word by Crit. He stops where he is down there, and he places it by their own boundary run, even though they're about to walk in aggressively like that.
That is interesting.
So he's like kind of trying to find, it's not only a safer ward, it's less likely to get dewarded, but he wants to see if anyone's like wrapping around to the other bounty, perhaps. Doesn't go. Set up on the suns.
Another 3-for-1 advantage in terms of bounties. Top Ori snagged the one on the dire side, but Fly was right there on the Radiant. Echo Saber beat up next for Tiny on 4.
Best burst build, really. You just want to do as much damage as possible instantaneously. This is the one.
And the Ags also now on Sumail. Oops.
On that one. Oh, meanwhile.
Fly gets killed up top. Yep, just caught by a Fissure LSA combo. Not much he could do there.
Didn't even need the heals.
But yeah, the Aghanims now opting to skip the Midas.
Eggs. Oh. That's a pretty quick Ags.
Oh yeah, he's number 1 on net worth.
Especially like he was jungling for a pretty large portion of the laning phase.
He's 4-1 and 2 though. I mean, he's gotten a really good start. With
they moved in here. There was no ward coverage from VG, so.
Oh, there's the setup on the Lina. Tiny starting things off. The Sunstrike, not enough damage. Should be able to make it back.
Couldn't get crit.
Fade might be the target, but just kind of doubles back the other way. And that'll be the end of it. G not able to find a kill. Dire circling the jungle, enemy jungle right now.
That's what they were prepping for with that Lion Ward down bottom. Saying that, they might try and move in there if our Terrorblade's farming that area. That's how they're going to come through. Generally, you don't smoke if you come up that ramp because it covers theirs.
Centaur is it Blink Dagger Gold. He stopped off for the Centaur first, and also a Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. So two big game-changing items for Vici picked up just about simultaneously.
Huge spike. Oh, I'm a perfect timing too. Oh, but he just TP'd home on the Centaur. Oh no.
G move right into the pit. Tombstone comes down, and with meta, they'll be able to kill this pretty quickly. Like the positioning from Sumail, nearby to support his team if enemies come by, but not committing to the pit so that he doesn't get caught.
So close yet so far.
Be an easy Roche.
Oh, that feels so painful, man. Like, you just got these blinks, and you're trying to take this big fight, and you want to use this Echo Slam and all these other skills, and then they just do that. Well, top, now we're done. And we lose DY.
Freebie for Sumail there, yeah.
The guy's trying to get some money. Come on. Leave him alone.
Well, that's Sumail's style. Never give up, never surrender. Make him feel the pain. Shadowblade on Lina, though. Always ready to do some hunting.
I mean, they have double blinks and Shadowblade. There better be some easy heroes dying, or they're in big trouble.
Yeah. Certainly not farming tools, that's for sure.
No.
Two big cores on EG, the Invoker Terrorblade, and the greedier picks that we were a little worried about working well together seems to be going swimmingly. They're sharing the jungle. Nice ancient stack here for Arteezy as he finishes it off. He's got his Dragonlance, his Yasha, Manta not too far away.
It's just because, like, they match the greed of Vici. Play this Earthshaker, and even the Centaur that tends to camp, like, he wants one item before Blink, right? He bought the Vanguard before the Blink Dagger, so...
Usually either going to be the Vanguard or the Hood.
Kind of gotten away with a lot here, and even that Echo Saber done for it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, now down bottom, EG will commit for a push on the tier 1. Fade lingering nearby in the tree line. Blink, Echo Slam at the ready.
I don't want to echo an ages.
That's definitely true. Will they mount a defense here, though? Will this be a freebie? Glyph up in 15 seconds.
Or he's backing away with Shadowblade, so there's no way.
Yep, they just let it go. Free tower for Arteezy.
And what's worse is that, like, you all rotated anyway, and then you do nothing.
Yeah.
It just feels like such a waste of time. It instantly EG's all TP away. So it's like, what did you just do on the side of EG for the past minute and a half, right?
No, it's just wasted time. Yeah, you paid the cost of rotating there and not farming, and then got nothing out of it. Little window, and they had the Blink Dagger advantage. Now closing. Lion picks up his big initiation tool. Huge game changer on this hero.
And they're just camping bottom. Some protection. Why there, but...
This is such a nasty hit squad, though. Lion Tiny, both with Blink Daggers and Sunstrike on top of it.
At some point, though, they do have some pretty beefy... Like...
Yeah. Oh, is it going to be not? Yang gets hex. Follow-up stun. There's the Sunstrike. Fades at the turn. Echo Slam. Yang's gone down already. Fly still alive. Down comes the Tombstone. Now Fade trying to make it out. And he will not. Sumail able to snag him before he falls. And S4 getting punished now by Paparazzi.
He can clean up here, though. Like, just 1 or 2 more kills is so good for them.
Arteezy still standing. DY just TP's out. Nice LSA. Stops the Terrorblade.
Committed for the medics. He knows they can push out of the way.
Sumail back in the party. That's going to be a cold snap into EMP, and the Morphling will get ripped apart. It's a third one down for Vici. Glyph even used here.
Oh, man, that dunk. It was good. It was so tempting, too, because, like, they're all just pumped on top, and you're like, if the Centaur survives, like, maybe he can get off the stall into a double edge, get that real damage out, but he couldn't get the double edge after.
Yeah.
Could have got a couple kills.
No, you're absolutely right. You can't really fault him for trying to go for it, because it did seem like a beautiful opportunity, but it just completely backfires. Even that deafening blast to finish him off, there's just no getting out. Sumail got so much out of that fight, as did Arteezy.
And then we're just looking for BKBs, really. I'm sure that'll be the next item for Arteezy, and Sumail has already queued it up. These are like the dream items for an Invoker. Like, you don't have to worry about anything else in the game. You just want Blink X, BKB. S4 targeted down here with that Laguna Blade combination from Fade.
He's gonna live, actually. Fly nearby. The Soul Red is just enough to pick him back up, but Paparazzi comes sliding on in. Stampede used as well. Maybe looking for something on the Sumail. Maybe tough. Earthspike does connect on one. Crit will get caught by the Blink Stomp. EMP Tornado. Not going to buy him the space he's looking for. So 2 down on EG. Definitely good stuff for Vici Gaming, but It's a support in their off lane, so not those high prize targets that they really need to be shutting down. As Arteezy is just farming mid all the while.
Yeah, but he also had Aegis still, and with those two heroes dead, they probably wouldn't be able to push the tier 2 mid, whereas maybe they could have if they just rotated mid along with them. So,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That a VG game. They're finding something. It's a very difficult point.
Low and steady, though. I don't think EG are too upset about just continuing to farm and get towards those BKBs as you were talking about. Morphling trying to get his own. Picked up the Ogre Axe now. Still lowest of the cores net worth, actually behind the off lane of E. Still a long road to recovery here for Paparazzi, even with these few steps in the right direction as they found those pickoffs.
But if he's blood busted and he just copies the TV, he can do so much damage to his team. He really doesn't have to be too farmed. I'd almost want him to be the least farm in a comeback position. Like, great positioning, speaking of which, from Crit, in the tree line there with the ward on the high ground, pops the smoke, instantly blinks back. What? And now it's Arteezy, Invis Rune.
Fissure, just to break things up. Aggressive posture from Arteezy there. No Aegis left.
So quite a bit of time before Sumail's BKB. See if they actually press in with it. Feels like they just might want to chill a little bit. They need to find a kill on the side of EG Gaming. Like, how long? These blinks. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, they can't get S4.
They're doing some time.
They went into the mid lane at the same time though. Yang.
The Centaur might get caught. He's forced to use a defensive stampede. Tiny takes the Laguna. They're getting healed up. They might actually be able to finish off S4. The beautiful on to 3 from Fade. But can Vici start to clean this up? The Deafening Blast and Arteezy on the back line. He's going to bring down Ori. The big bad Metamorphosis is here. Yang will try to TP, and it's not going to be enough. Arteezy gets a double. And on the other side, Fade trying to make it away. He's going to be slowed by the cold snap. In the end, it'll be a 1 for 4. It really was a great slam. Connected on 3 heroes. But Arteezy showed up and just completely ripped that fight apart. The Lina got absolutely shredded.
You have a... God. Morph couldn't contribute anything once the dunk happened. Neither could the Lina. It's just Fade all alone. Yeah. Trying to do something. Now he's buying back without dunk.
Yeah, I don't know how much this buyback's really going to help. Does drop a Fissure now. Blink in. Hex from Crit. Tier 3 already pretty low. There's no glyph. Still time on Metamorphosis. At least another 10 seconds. They might even be able to get the melee barracks off this. The Alacrity helping out the Terrorblade so much.
Gets the denied the mid-melee.
All right. We'll call it a small win. A moral victory at the least.
Dignity restored. Yes.
Oh my, 12k net worth in 25 minutes. EG handily in control of this game. That graph telling a very clear story. XP maybe a little bit more even, but not a moment in this game when Vici Gaming was ahead in terms of goal lead.
Destroyed in that fight. Now let's try and find another moment. They're going to get some bounty runes. That's actually real nice.
This Terrorblade just feels unstoppable now. Look at the net worth difference. He's at 17.5k. The leading farmer on Vici is Lina at only 10k. It's just absolutely absurd right now.
It's so many games like this as of late with this hero.
Oh, sweet Terrorblade.
Paparazzi just not finding that counter moment here.
Ori almost gets caught here.
With the wind up here, cancels on the finger.
And he is going to get punished for that one.
That hurts. You know, you're trying to play this assassination support and you just give away a lot of gold like that. That's a lot. 400. Yeah, it's like 700 gold. Yeah.
Paparazzi getting closer to his BKB now. Definitely an item that'll give him some potential in these upcoming fights. Like you said,
it comes back to the same logic. He doesn't theoretically need damage.
Right, because he
he can morph the TV.
So he just needs to survive. So I think it's the right idea. If it'll be enough is still yet to be determined, but
the execution's been real hard. And now EG are pumping around a little DD here, thinking about what they can do. They're gonna bottle it up on the Arteezy, and they just go back to farming.
Shadowblade almost done on Tiny, so another great initiation tool.
Dude, they bought an urn. Flies into it.
Maybe he overheard you during lunch.
Yeah, like
They're like,
buy
man.
some. No, maybe it's because he's not here. They actually need. That might be why.
That too. That too.
But I'll take.
Hey, shut this guy up. He won't stop talking about Earn. 2 BKBs. Lena just got hers as well.
Okay, so 10 seconds on Invoker, Morphling, and Lena then.
Dyer's
Yeah,
top
this is a
shrine
big
is
fight
under
for Vici
attack.
coming out of next year. They can't win a team fight with this kid.
Faith on himself too.
And DY, well, he steps a little too far forward.
He's
he gets
scouting.
tossed in. Yeah, he scouts with his body, unfortunately.
Sumail
But
has just been in the pit like a minute now. Like, where is Roche?
he's just chilling. 20 seconds till Roche comes back up.
He'll send the force read. He's like, oh, that is a good idea.
Dyer's top shrine is under
I
attack.
like how EG consistently uses their courier to scout out Roche as well.
Yeah, they were
You
on
know,
point with that.
other
today.
teams do that also. I feel like EG very consistently uses that tool. A little risky, but often worth it.
Back to the base they go. They got wave top and a wave mid pushing on in.
The Crimson Guard is also up, Trent. As you mentioned, great against the Terrorblade. So many game changers potentially if they can find an engagement. EG are going to give it to them. They've just been lingering around the Roche pit. It's clear which objective they're looking for. And it seems that they'll get it. Vici, very limited vision.
Lack BTV.
No way to really get here in time, and I think it's just going to go down. They're slowly starting to rotate over, but Forge Spirits are there to intercept.
Fly's actually pretty low, and they got a little greedy. They didn't use the meta.
Oh, wow, you're right. Double damage, but no meta. Hey, they still get it.
S4 wants to blink it. He wants to force a fight. Gotta have meta and DD.
I think Vici need to get out of here. This is not the engagement they want to take. But Yang jumps in, misses the stomp, and Arteezy says, all right, let's party.
God. Or he can't get the kill on Sumail. He was so low. He finally dies, though. Paparazzi, he has the morph. He did it.
Yeah, but Arteezy is doing so much damage here. He's got the double damage rune, and that's one thing Paparazzi can't take.
Dude, Sumail bought back. They did it.
Okay. That did it surprisingly well.
He got in the back lines.
I think I was just tunnel visioned on Arteezy there, and
Yeah,
they
they
did a
were
really
two
good
fights.
job breaking it up. Okay, that's a huge, that's like a 3K overall gain to Vici.
And all of them on that sweet, sweet morphling, too. Really well done from Ori.
Yeah. Great use of that 10-second BKB. I mean, that was, like you said, that was the time that Vici had to make something happen. Morphling starting to show a sign of life with Scotty now on the horizon. Transition into a real right-clicking hero pretty soon.
They still need so many more of those, though. You know, it's one of these games,
Yeah.
but EG, I'm sure they're getting tired of this. The first 3-game series, and they're so far ahead, and it feels like everything's going right. They're playing so patiently, and it feels like they're checking off all these boxes. It's like they got a little list, you know what I mean? All these games, and they're just waiting for that. Yep, we have to get the Aegis. Oh, yep, we need that. Yep. Oh, we don't want to use meta, because then we can go push this Aegis, and then every time it feels like a little snafu. Pass him out. So Ori presses forward first. He is nuts.
Attention though, blink in, the Hex, the full combo, he gets tossed back.
Nice BKB.
Can they find more? Paparazzi and Arteezy both pop the BKBs here. No meta for another 60. How far do they want to commit here?
Oh, he Waveform's back in.
Buyback on Ori, but they're going to catch the Earthshaker. Centaur jumps in, gets pushed back by the Deafening Blast. Just like that, EG regain that lost footing and force a buyback themselves.
That just fell apart.
And meta is up in 30 seconds, so this is a pretty scary window. You can win a fight like that and still have Metamorphosis to take another one. 50 seconds on the Earthshaker, no buyback available. I think EG are going to keep the pressure on here, still with the Aegis.
Yeah, they need him for the defense on that shaker. Like 2.5 minutes here. Conferencing.
Blip available as S4 jumps in, heads onto the Centaur. Sunder comes out. Will be able to survive, at least for now. Arteezy in pretty deep, looking for more. Metamorphosis. Here it comes. 1 second. Is he even going to use it here? They might just take the tier 3 and back up. There it is. Pops the meta. Tier 3 falls.
They really want to heal him up, though. Yes, yeah, they're going to give him the cheese. That's a nice play. Snow just hands it over because they won't waste this meta with this lead.
Yeah, this should be very soon. Great reaction time. Now Yang has to stampede back. Remember, Scotty is out on Arteezy, so he's chucking snowballs right now. Mid lane of Barracks already down. Bottom lane will be secure here. Morphling forced back to defensive territory.
Dire's bottom barracks.
All they can do is just sit there with a shadow angle.
S4 jumps in again. They jump in onto Ori. This could be a dieback here. They set it up and he will fall. 90 seconds on the sideline, and this is feeling like the beginning of the end here. Trent DY gets finished off by Illusions. Yang jumps in, tries to slow down this Terrorblade, but just absolutely cannot do it. The snowballs are too much, not going to be able to make it away. The Crimson Guard,
Oh, the Scotty, get him!
oh, Fade with the stun. Yang actually going to make it back, but there's another Sunder. BKB Paparazzi, now the lone defender. There's a Hex, the meatball flies from the skies. The Morphling will be burned down. Turn to a puddle once again. Buyback used now. The tier 3 taking a lot of damage. EG, they want these mega creeps. They want this one to end. They're having flashbacks of this top lane. They want to finish off these barracks.
Yeah, he still has Aegis. Even though Meta's going to keep on pushing, they want to force this Echo Slam. And everyone just standing as far away from Arteezy as possible.
At this point, Arteezy is just unstoppable. His farm is equivalent to the top 2 farmers of Vici, and they come as the barracks fall. Not a moment too soon. Honestly, this one fell apart a little too quickly for Vici. Morphling didn't really have a game, it felt like. There were a couple of moments here that as soon as he got the BKB, we saw that one good fight, but outside of that, brutal for the Morph.
This is what EG's game 1 should have looked like versus Aster.
Yes.
Right? You take this big lead, you have the Terrorblade, you close it out.
That's the way to do it.
Can't really fault them.